What are the 5 marketing strategies that you can use to get clients right now for $0? I give you the exact strategy, the exact scripts and what to do and how to send them, and the exact process in this video. In fact, this is called the email marketing operating system, and I taught this to several hundred real estate agents in California, and I got the permission to share that with you. So what you're gonna see are the exact strategies, the exact scripts, how to do them, and how you can actually get clients on autopilot when you do all of this. It starts right now. Today I want to talk to you about the biggest, baddest marketing bazooka, okay? And the key part of this is, let me ask you this question. What is the best marketing channel for you right now? Just shout it out. The one you're using. It's like what's the best CRM? The one you actually like log into, right? What's the best marketing channel? Instagram for you? Cool, awesome. What else? Best marketing channel for you? There's no wrong answer. Email? What else? Cell phone? The telephone. You actually have to call people. Our business is about conversations and contracts, right? No conversation, no contract. Come on, like, y'all do marketing, just nod. Okay, awesome. What is your favorite marketing channel right now? Leo? Text and DMs. Favorite marketing channel? Good. YouTube? Like, that would be good. We should probably add that. What else? Facebook is your favorite marketing channel? Keep going. Open houses. What else?
Geographic farming.
Geographic farming. The lady that has 41% market share in our farm, right? Is it somewhat in there? Oh, so irritating. So good. So good. What else? What's your favorite marketing channel? Seminars. Yeah. Live events change lives. That's why we're all here, right? Live events change lives. So here's what I see, right? There's a bunch of outbound. Like, we actually pick up the phone and call people. Like, our phone has a function to like call people, right? You don't have to do it a lot, but once or twice is totally okay. Then we've got direct mail. You can actually send something to people in the mail. It actually works because that's reduced these days. Then you've got, like, I just didn't have a better icon, so I put the Wi-Fi icon here. But you can like do some networking, right? So that's the marketing channel. And then you can do like door knocking, and that's pretty cool, right? But we want the easy way out. Would you agree? Hey, Dirk. How are you, buddy? We want the easy way out. So the easy way out is we got some Facebook stuff. How many of you use Facebook? Just give me a show of hands. Okay. Facebook's good. Dean Aguilar will tell you that when Dean posts a message on Facebook, or when Krista posts a message on Facebook, like 400 comments. I post a message on Facebook, 4. I'm like, dude. So now if I want all of you to get a message from me, I'm like, bro, can you post for me? Right? It is shameless. If you know somebody that has a great audience reach, like Jamie Harris, if you know somebody that has a great audience reach, it is totally okay to ask them for some help, right? Right. So how many of you know somebody that when they post on social, they get like insane traction, but you don't? First, don't worry about it. Just use their audience. It's a really good thing. All right, Facebook. Now, let's talk about YouTube for a second. How many of you have like dabbled in YouTube, done a little YouTube stuff? All right, so a lot of us. So anybody know Mr. Beast? Okay, Mr. Beast. If you don't know Mr. Beast, he has 100 million plus subscribers. He just got offered $1 billion for his YouTube channels and YouTube empire, which he said no to. Think about that for a second. He got over $1 billion. And so, Dan, I don't know if I shared this with you. Bern, we may have talked about this. There was a private event with 30 people where Mr. Beast was doing a presentation. And I don't do YouTube. I'll talk about that in a second. And I was like, it's Mr. Beast. I got to go to this one. I am not joking on what Tim just shared. Mr. Beast shows up for 90 minutes. He talks about thumbnails. 90 straight minutes. He's like, we did this thumbnail and we didn't like it, so we didn't make the video. We did this thumbnail, we didn't like it, so we didn't make the video. Like literally, he just went through every thumbnail. And then a dude from the audience asked, not me, right? Because I was too embarrassed to ask anything. He said, well, I'm starting a channel. What do you think I should do? You know what Mr. Beast said? Make 100 thumbnails. Don't make a video. He goes, who cares what's behind the video? No one's even clicking it. Make 100 thumbnails first. And it was like mind-blowing to me that we think, do I get, as Tim said, do I get the right camera? Do I get the right voice? Do I get the right, none of that. Just make some thumbnails. Because what it does is it organizes the way in which we do marketing. It organizes our thinking. It figures out our hook. There's a lot more pieces to this puzzle, right? So you got YouTube. How many of you are on TikTok? Okay. So hard to crack that algorithm, right? You think something's going to go viral, but it's not. Everyone say hi to Steven, my videographer, my producer. Steven's amazing. He's awesome. Steven, by the way, here's a cool story. For those of you who don't know the legendary Ruth Pugh, Ruth and I used to work together before, right? And Steven used to work with Ruth. So I've known Steven for like 10 years. And now he's like, dude, I just want to hang out and do videos and like make great content. So I'll tell you what Steven does. He'll take some of our content. He'll put several videos on TikTok. Whichever performs, he'll take them down and then utilize them elsewhere else. So he uses TikTok as like a testing ground, which is kind of interesting right now. Instagram, I got to share this with you. Tim said something which is very interesting. He said 10% can get you 10x. Did you guys remember that slide? So how many of you, so Steven and I have this new thing where the only thing we care about on our videos are shares. We don't care about views. We only care about shares. So we have a deal that if a video doesn't get 100 shares at least, he's going to figure out what to do. And he's like, bro, if I don't get 100 shares, I'll just redo the video and I'll make sure that that video gets 100 shares or more. And I was like, how are you going to do that? So there's this video that got like 3,000-ish views. I'm like, bro, that totally underperformed. I don't care about the views. It got like 30 shares. So all he did was he changed the first 3 seconds of the video with a different hook and it got 10x the views. Same exact video, no change. He just flipped the first 3 seconds. 10% change to 10x the shares and views. Pretty cool, right? So if you think, how many times you've made a video and you're like, man, that should have done well. Have you ever thought that? Or a piece of content? That just means your hook is probably off. So when we film now, he'll say, hey, that was a good video. I'm just going to film a bunch of hooks. Tell me different things. Oh, 3 ways to grow your business. 3 things you should never do. 3 mistakes that I always made. I will never do these 3 things. Now he's got 4 hooks to play with the same video on the back. Interesting, right? So think about the hooks because this is a true manifestation of that. But all of these, I'm getting to one point. All of these platforms have one thing in common. What are they? What is it? It works if you use it, right? He'll give you something deeper. All of these platforms are scroll-based. What do you do with these? Scroll, 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 scroll. Yep. To me, I want a marketing platform where I can slow the scroll. If I slowed the scroll, people will actually listen to my stuff more. Would that be fair? Yep. And my favorite platform to slow the scroll is, you're not going to like it, email. Because you don't look at your email and scroll as fast as Instagram. You look at it and be like, Sharran Srivatsaa sent something about, interesting, maybe I'll read that later. Ruth Pugh sent something about Dan Parker said. You read each person, you read each subject line, you read each thing, right? So like when Dean Aguilar sends something, says, Dean Aguilar, dude, where are you? And I'm like, oh crap, Dean sent me something, right? It's really good because we slow the scroll when we do email. And so I've really been thinking about the last many years of how do I make email a great platform? So what I'm going to give you today is about 8 scripted emails that you can take pictures of. And I guarantee you it will get your responses and print you money if you don't change anything in the email. But you will change stuff. I know you. You will put your font. You will say, just checking in on you. You will do stuff like that. I'm telling you not to, right? Use my stuff first, then adapt later. Cool? Okay. Here's what happens. You wake up in the morning, you roll out of bed, and the first thing you see is how many emails you have. To get a social media account, you actually need to have an email to sign up. Most of them, at least. And none of us are sending DocuSign on direct message. Right? DocuSign goes on email. It's a serious platform. So getting to have a serious platform either needs to be a meeting or a phone call or email because we've accepted over the years that email is a serious platform. You can start conversations on other platforms, but you have to transfer them to email. And the reason we don't do email is we think that someone 25 years ago told us we need to do an email newsletter. I bet some of you do every other week email newsletter. You don't have to nod. I know you do because I get some of it. Right? The world has changed. You shouldn't do that anymore because having 96 things in your email newsletter is not how people read email on the John anymore. Right? They're sitting there like, oh my God, like, no, right? We need to write email. So I'm going to give you a few things. And if you ever check your stats on, if you have an iPhone, like normal people, right? Right? I'm totally messing with you. By the way, for those, give me Android friends, give me a raise of hands, Android friends. Your phones have such good cameras. It is like we think our cameras are good. Like the Android cameras are amazing, right? But that's all you got. I don't know. Like the whole green thing that shows up in your iMessage, I'm like, oh my God, that's so terrible. Like, did they even get my text message, right? It's so insane. But if you look at your stats, it'll show you that you spend a lot of time in email. And I want to actually activate that for everybody. And now you may be thinking, well, what the heck do I send? So let me run you through a few things. So I'm going to give you the email marketing operating system, right? Something that I've been using for the last 10 years. How many of you get email from me? Just give me a raise of hands. Oh, dude, take a picture of that. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing to my stuff. But I've been doing this for about 10 years, and I've learned a bunch of stuff along the way. Like Tim said, try something, failed a lot, analyze, oh, it didn't work, adjust, and so that's where it's gotten, right? So 3 things we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go pretty fast, but I want to talk about the last one the most, which is content. A little bit of infrastructure, a little bit of growth. So infrastructure is what do you need to write good email? Growth is how do you grow the list? And then content overall. Good plan for the next like 15 minutes. Is that cool? Is this somewhat interesting? Yes. Okay, cool, awesome. If it's not, then like tough luck. Hey, what are you gonna do? You know, tacos are in like an hour. Okay. By the way, yesterday, Tim Macy and I were doing a presentation, and literally like he's talking about tacos in Texas. This is California. Like we are 41 minutes from the border. Like this is Baja. Like let's go, buddy, you know? This California-Texas taco wars. All right, let's talk about email marketing infrastructure. Going to go through a few things very quickly. I'm going to fly through infrastructure and growth, but I'm going to get to content with the live emails. All right? All right, content. Number 1, we can't just send BCC and send email to everybody. Right? As your list grows, you got to have some kind of CRM system like a Chime or an Active Campaign or a Follow Boss or a MailChimp, etc. Let me tell you why. Because that is the law. Right? I got called into an I can't spam a DOJ lawsuit because one of our agents sent a bunch, like downloaded their golf club list, uploaded it to, and then just sent a blast. And because of that, we got caught. Like, do not do that. Now, in the meantime, till you get, how many of you actually have some kind of infrastructure, like email marketing infrastructure? All of us, almost all of us. If you don't have one, here's my suggestion. Literally copy paste all your leads, like the first 99, put it in BCC and Gmail, hit send to just get started. But you have to promise me that you're going to do that only if you're in the path of getting email infrastructure. I will tell you, in 3 to 5 years, your list will go from 500 to 5,000, and you're going to thank me that those 5,000 people you can send one email to, and amazing things will start to happen. So it's one of those where 10% improvement, you got to kind of make some focus on that. All right. So number 1, I'm going to fly through these, just FYI. Number 2, only send to opt-ins. You can't download the golf club list and send people emails. That's why we got to get people to opt into stuff. And the best opt-in in the world in the real estate business is what? Lead magnets. Lead magnets are good. Awesome. What else? What is the biggest, largest publicly traded real estate company in the world? What do? They take your listing, they show it to the world, they squeeze them for leads, and they sell them back to you. Right? It's okay. It's a great business model. I'm not, Zillow has made a lot of you a lot of money. I have no problem with it. But it's important to understand that when you get a listing and you get a buyer to comment or inquire on that listing, that is the best lead that you can generate in their real estate business. There is no better lead. Not like, oh, I want to sell my house. Nobody woke up in the morning saying, I'm so excited to sell my house today. Nobody did that. Let me tell you why. Buying is aspirational and selling is operational. No one is excited about selling anything. The buying conversation is what is aspirational, right? So no one is excited about selling. So when all of us say, oh, I'm a listing agent. Shut up. Are you serious? Every listing conversation starts with the buying conversation, right? If you can solve the buying conversation, getting the listing is so much easier, right? That's super important. So getting opt-ins is the way to go. Number 3, you got to train the inbox, right? Training the inbox is the more emails you send, the more the inbox gets trained. If you send an email once every 2 weeks, the average consumer gets 100 emails, 97 emails a day. So 100 emails a day. You're sending 1 out of 1,400 emails. Do you think anybody cares? It's not enough, right? I will even tell you 3 emails a week is not enough. But you should at least try to get to that. Couple more. I always talk about this. An email a day keeps the spam away. If your inbox gets an email from me every single day, that'll be like, oh, Sharran emails Ruth every single day. Sharran must know Ruth. So the inbox is like, oh, there's familiarity built into it. So while you think that it's actually overbearing, it's not. It's training the inbox to actually feel like that is not spam. That's weird, but it's true, right? For the first 3-4 years of me writing email, I wrote an email every single day. Did I get a bunch of opt-outs early on? Yes. Did the opt-outs and unsubscribes fall off and I almost get 0 after that? Yes, because they were used to me writing email every single day. Right? I'm not asking you to do it. I'll give you the content around it. So let's say Justin and I wanted to go to see a concert. This is the email that I would write Justin. All right? So I would write Justin an email, say, Def Leppard in LA. Dude, you want to go? March 12th, Hard Rock, LA. Here's the link. This is the email that we write. Isn't this true? So all your emails should look like this. Don't put beautiful banner of you with the phone, right? And then like 7 listings, and then like 3 recipes, and then like 4 open houses, and then like 6 downloads, and like 97 pages of email. This is the email that we send to people. This is normal. If you got this, your inboxes are like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like 2 dudes want to go to a concert. That makes sense. So all your emails should look like this. You don't need like graphics, it's text. And I'm trying to make this easy so that you understand that the simpler your email is, the more deliverability you will get. So the next time you're writing an email, think, would I invite Sharran and Justin to go to a Def Leppard concert? This is how you would do that. I didn't even put click here on a link. I just pasted the full Ticketmaster link. This is how it works because this makes it real. Good? Helpful? All right, couple more. How do you grow the email list? I'm going to give you 2 ideas, and I'm going to give you content. All right? Growing the email list. Anyone have any ideas on how to grow the email list? Just give me a random idea. HomeBot? Okay, good. So you would send it out to some people. They would subscribe to it. So you'd have 200 people on the list, 200 more subscribe. Now you have 400. Would that be fair? Awesome. So I like that a lot because the intention of subscribing to HomeBot is good because they know exactly what they're getting, and you don't have to do anything because it automatically sends stuff to them. I like that a lot. Cool. Any other way to grow your list? Open houses. Open houses? Amazing, right? You get an open house registry. You want to make sure you get the email address. You got to put it in right away, right? Otherwise, they're like, oh, who's this person? Good. Any other ideas? Live events to grow the list. So you get, like Justin's got a registration. Now he has 160 people on the list, which he never had before, which is really, really good. Okay? Other ideas on growing the list? Social media ads. So actually run an ad, get people to sign up to grow the list. Super good. There was another comment. Landing pages. So you can say, hey, here's 5 things to know before you buy a home in San Diego. People sign up for that. That's like a very specific lead, right? So let me give you 2 ways. 2 ways that I like the most that grows it the fastest. I really like everyone starts at 0, right? In one of my personal Sharran brand email account, this is a screenshot from yesterday, right? There's about 56,000 people. Look at this. It's a 55% interaction rate, right? This is a screenshot from ActiveCampaign. There's a good chance you're not getting this, and let me tell you why, right? Because you put a bunch of stuff inside your email. And when you don't get deliverability, you don't get interaction, all right? Couple of things. Number 1, joint ventures. So for example, Dean, ours is tomorrow, right? So Dean and I are doing, Dean does an awesome webinar series called the Legacy Playbook. Dean and I are going to do this thing tomorrow on circle prospecting and how you can use circle prospecting to get you appointments in their local marketplace. So we're going to give you like the exact scripts, the playbook on how to do that. So Dean has this webinar set up, right? He promoted it. I promoted it. A bunch of people sign up to that list. So let's say it was him and I. They sign up, say like 300 people signed up. Now Dean and I have new 300 people that signed up that can go into our list. The nice part about that is he and I just get up and deliver and do the webinar together, the training together. And people are like, even if they didn't sign up, they're like, hey, if you missed it, here's the replay. And it feels like a good value add without selling them something. It's a fast way to get a lot of people all at one time. Good. So if it was you and your mortgage broker, you would write an email saying, hey, what can 6% buy you in San Diego? Or what can $400,000 buy you in San Diego? You do a little joint webinar, 30 people come to it, lender talks, Aphrodite talks, both of you share the list. Good, fastest way to grow your email list. All right. Number 2, I call it the list swap. The list swap is this way. Any mortgage lenders in the room? Title folks in the room? Escrow? Oh, yeah. What do you do, man? Title. So if you would say to I would come to title folks and I'd say, listen, I would love to do an event for agents. And you say, well, I know a lot of agents, right? So I will say, hey, I know you've got some great title offers that agents don't know about. Why don't I write to my list and say, you should go check out all these title offers. And then she's like, no problem, Sharran. I'll write to my list saying you should go follow Sharran. So we just cross-pollinate the list, right? So I'm sending more people to sign up for her list. She's sending more people to sign up for my list. And here's the best part about that. And let me tell you how I figured this out. I had a couple of influencers email me and say, hey, Sharran, I will pay you, this is not joking, $12 per person that comes from your email list and subscribes to my email list for free. As in, they just sent them to a random lead magnet. And I was like, why would you pay me $12 for a random person to come and sign up on your list? I didn't understand it. You know what he said to me? He said, you have my direct audience. That audience read your email, so they like you. They clicked on a link, which means they trust you. They came to my page, which means they read something about me. Then they opted in. That is the best possible subscriber I can get because I'm sending them more emails and I want more email readers and email clickers and email doers. You can get subscribers from social media, but they're Facebook people. You have no idea if they read email. This is the best way to grow your email list. List swaps are amazing. So if you're a real estate agent and there's a pool contractor in your market, you guys should do hey, here, get a list of the 10 most important pools or like coolest pools that were built. And he's like, sign up for market updates. That's how you actually cross-pollinate the list. Good, helpful? All right. So can I give you content? This is probably, I have 9 slides and you'll get everything in the next 9 slides. Can I give you content? All right. Here's content. They are the 4 parts. You may want, I'll walk you through this to actually build a profitable email content machine. I'm going to say this again. If you don't have like an email marketing infrastructure, literally for now, BCC, put people in, hit send. You will start to see this work. So let me explain each of these pieces. Part number 1 is activation. They need to actually be activated in your list. I'm going to show you how to do that. Then you're going to create some curiosity. Then you're going to create some engagement. And then you're going to create some endearment. Endearment is they already love you. So now if I get an email from Ruth and I'm like, it's Ruth. Run. It's awesome. Right? It's run. No. But it's awesome, right? So when I already have a relationship of endearment, whatever she sends is a good thing, right? And you want to get to that. You can't get to that right away. So I'm going to give you how to get to all of these very quickly with easy copy paste. Is that cool? Okay, awesome. First one, how do you accelerate activation? Would it be fair to say that there is at least 7 people in your email, in your database that you have not talked to in the last 100 days? Maybe 8, right? We have leads that we haven't talked to. Here's an email that you can send. You're going to think it's weird, but let me give it to you. It works like gangbusters. It says, quick question, no name, nothing. Quick question, are you still interested in buying a home on Maui? Send. Are you still interested in buying a home on blank? Send. I wouldn't go like, are you still interested in buying a home in Scripps Ranch? I wouldn't go that specific, but I would go, are you still interested in buying a home in San Diego? Broader, because you have no idea where they're looking. Right? Super easy. This sounds strange, but it's super easy. This also works really well on text message. Now, if you start putting things like, Dear Sharran, hope you had a great new year. Just checking in with you. All of that, too much. Right? Because I'm driving and I'm looking and I'm like, oh man, I really do want. Yes, like you want to generate the activation as soon as possible. I don't care about anything. I just want a reply. And you know what is the worst part of this email? You're going to send this and people are going to reply and say, I just bought last month. I'm not joking. You're going to get so irritated when this happens. And I'm glad. At least don't kid yourself that there's like 900 people in your database that want to buy when they bought 3 weeks ago. Right? Easy enough to send?
Yes.
Okay, that's number one. So that's good. The question is, would it work the opposite way? Are you still interested in selling your home in San Diego, right? Yes, sort of. But it's weird because selling is a second, something happens first, right? Every selling conversation starts with a buying conversation. So if you can get them to think about buying, they'll say, oh, I'm not interested in buying something in San Diego, but I'd like to go to Maui. Then you can say, hey, let's talk about that. And then the selling becomes a natural part of it. Selling's weird because it's very operational. It's not sexy. So people are like, I don't want to do that, right? You can flip it on the investment side. Hey, are you looking to buy an investment property this year that will pay you to own it? Right? By the way, anyone know Fred Wilson? He's a real estate agent in Palm Springs, California. Does anyone know Fred? You know Fred. We know Fred. So we used to work together, right? So Fred calls me like every 10 weeks, right? Hey, Sharran, it's Fred. And I'm like, hey, Fred. He goes, this is a business call. And I know what he's going to say. He goes, hey, Sharran, what would you say if I told you that I have an investment property that would actually pay you to own it? Every 10 weeks, same script. Right? All he's saying is, I have an investment property that cash flows. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Oh, let me tell you. And he'll tell you. And I was like, oh, I want more than that. Oh, you want more than that? I got this other one. Every 10 weeks, he calls me with that script. Pretty wild, right? Keep going. So can you use this? Is this easy enough? Okay, cool. Number two. My friend Jimmy Mackin, Jason and I talked about this. Jimmy had this great email. Anybody know Jimmy? Give me a raise of hands. Jimmy Mackin, CEO of Curator, super sharp guy. He said, send out an email that says, would you like me to give you a heads up on interest rates drop below 6%? Really simple, right? Really simple. All we're trying to do is get a response. Because what is the idea of the response is activation. I just want to get them to reply. And let me tell you why I'm getting them to reply. If somebody replies to an email blast that you send, it whitelists them in their email. So now you become a safe sender. Because the best part about email is rated in these ways. Opens, clicks, replies. Opens, you get 1 point. Clicks, you get 10 points. Replies, you get 3 million points. Right? So Gmail is like, oh my gosh, Ruth replied to Sharran, so Ruth must know Sharran. This is great. I'm going to show more of Sharran's emails to Ruth. I'm just trying to get a reply. Good? Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay, awesome. Good so far from an activation perspective. All right. Let me give you the second one. I want to create curiosity. How do you create curiosity? Give me an idea for creating curiosity. Say that again. Oh, that's really good. A new home in the neighborhood, right? So there'll be a new listing that come on or something like that. What they can't normally get access to in their daily course of life. We think that our clients know everything that is happening in their neighborhood. They don't. They're too busy, right? But if you told them that something came up, they're like, oh my gosh, Emma told me, so this must be something I need to watch. It's really good. So let me give you 2 examples. Example number 1, you may have heard of this if you've been around me in any long time. It's called Deal of the Week. Anybody do a Deal of the Week? Give me hands up. Okay, let me give you the exact Deal of the Week. The Deal of the Week looks like this, and then I have a quiz for you, all right? Subject line. I used Hawaii as an example because I just want everything to feel like Hawaii, right? Say Lahaina, Deal of the Week. You would say Temecula, Deal of the Week. You would say San Diego, Deal of the Week. You would say Scripps Ranch, Deal of the Week, right? Because when I look at the subject line, it says Emma Lefkowitz, Scripps, Deal of the Week. And I'm like, I know Emma, I know Scripps, so I got multiple points of connection, which wants me to open the email, right? So if you come up with a really cute, beautiful 3-bedroom modern, like, no, don't do that. Nobody cares about that. You understand that, right? And like, no one cares. You just want them to open the email. So this week's deal, do not change this, by the way, right? This week's Deal of the Week is blank, as a home in Scripps, is a home in San Diego, is a home on Maui, on blah, blah. That's it. Really simple. And then a bunch of bullet points. I would say no more than 6. because after 6, it just gets too many. Generally, how I do bullet points is 2 about the home, 2 about the neighborhood, and 2 about what you think. Maximum 5 to 6. So let me read this out. Hey, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. And as soon as you say that, they're thinking, oh my God, this is too small. 2,100 square feet. Okay, that's not bad. Panoramic ocean views. They're thinking, oh, it's ocean views. Does it have HOA? Oh, it's complicated. It has 2 parking spots. That's pretty good. Can I do Airbnb? You have to foresee what they're thinking and make your next bullet point based on what they're thinking. Airbnb, okay, 1.2 million. Here's the most important part about this email. If you're interested, just reply and I will get you all the details. Now, what is in this email that is not, that you think would normally should be? The address, pictures. What else? The link. Address, pictures, link. Do not ever put it in it. Why? I want them to reply. I want them to reply. And here's the best part. This also doesn't have to be your listing. It can be whatever. Who cares? I just want some curiosity. Right? So if you say, which listing do I send? I don't have any. I'm like, I don't care. Pick one that's on contract. Pick one that you like. It doesn't matter what it is. You got to send out a deal of the week every week. Create curiosity. Because when they reply, you can say, oh, you want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That just went off market. Can I show you others? Anything is okay because you start a conversation. Right? No links, no pictures, no address. If you do that, they're going to go on the rabbit search of their own. And then you've eliminated that from a conversation. How do you engineer engagement? So I'm going to give you 2 ideas to engineer engagement. The first one is, I call this dog fooding your own content. So let me explain. Subject line, gifting gone bad. By the way, I did this video. I got so much hate for it. Has anyone ever given a closing gift which is Cutco knives? Has anyone given a closing gift which is Cutco knives? It's totally fine. They're good knives. They're good knives, right? But I got so much hate on this because I said, hey, the Cutco knives is a terrible gift, but not any Cutco knives. The Cutco knife where you put Sharran Real Estate Group on it and put that on steak knives and give it to everybody else. That's a little strange in today's world. Because if I was having a dinner party and I would like if Ruth would pull out Sharran Real Estate Group, that's weird. Instead, all I said was put your client's name on it. Because if you put Troy on it and it was Troy's family, he would totally utilize it, right? That would make total sense, right? So I got so much flack on this video. And so I was like, this may be interesting. So I went to my list of folks that had not opened my email in a long time. So I was like sorted by like unresponsive. And I sent this email. I said, gifting gone bad. I made this 51-second video, very specific, 51-second video that went viral on Instagram. I talked about how sometimes we confuse gifting with marketing. In fact, this was a big lesson that I learned myself and a mistake that I won't make again. Do you see how I'm creating curiosity around this thing? Here's the link. It's only 51 seconds. Shoot me a reply if you liked it. What am I doing? I'm taking my email list of 56,000 people, maybe shorter, and sending them all to my Instagram content. I'm generating organic views based on my own stuff. I don't have to wait for the algorithm to do anything. I can generate the views myself. Right? This is called dog fooding your own content. So if you don't know, if you built a great video and you're not sure about if it's not getting traction, write an email and send people to your content. Super powerful. Easy enough? Yeah. Okay, cool. 2 more. Worst emails that you can send. Just listed, just sold, market update. And you think, and we think, that sending more just listed emails. All right, Bay Area, Chris, completely different. No inventory. You want the just listed email. I get it, right? The coming soon is even better. So I totally get it. But outside of that, everyone's like desensitized to this just listed, just sold market update, right? But how can you write a just listed email, which we know is powerful? How can we write a just listed email in a little bit of a different way? So here's my take on it. If I were you, I would literally not change anything, right? Subject line, director's cut. We just launched a new listing in a private gated community near Diamond Head. This is Honolulu. The address is 123 Pineapple Street. I just had to say Pineapple, right? 123 Pineapple Street. But I wanted to give you access to the director's cut of pictures that are not on Zillow. I don't even care if they're on Zillow. Maybe they are. Who cares? Right? Don't overthink this. Here are 21 secret photos showing you the entire home. If you want a private tour, just shoot me a reply. But the 21 secret photos, do not link that to a Zillow profile or a landing page. Link it straight to your Dropbox of photos. Because that's where they feel raw and real about this. All I'm looking for is I want the click. And I want them to feel like, wait, Leanne just sent me something that is not on the market, that no one else can see. I feel really special. Get it? Easy enough? How many of you sometimes get pictures that you don't utilize? Right? Just put it, just send the whole Dropbox folder. Now they're like, oh my gosh, I got private early access to this stuff. This is a nice way of saying just listed without saying just listed. Right? Good? All right. Last two. We got to emotionalize this endearment component. And so let me give you a couple ideas around that. I'm going to read this. You're going to think this is strange, but this will work like gangbusters. So let me read this out to you. Subject line, looking for a dog walker. My favorite dog walker recently moved to Puerto Rico to avoid paying all taxes. But this is important. This is how this works, right? I got to tell a story around this. And I say, my clients at Kapalua, you know how this works. My clients at Kapalua are looking for a dog walker, and instead of looking at Yelp, you're telling the truth, I thought I would just ask my trusted clients and friends. Now they're like, oh my gosh, they're self-identifying. What am I doing? This is called labeling. You are my trusted clients and friends. Oh my gosh, Sharran thinks I'm a trusted client and friend. Right? This is how this works. If you have a kind and trustworthy dog walker that you'd like to recommend, could you just please reply to this message? Now I'm using my database to show people that I have clients first. I have clients that trust me second. And I'm using them, using my entire network to get feedback instead of just posting it on Facebook. Heck, you could post the same thing on Facebook, but you get insane engagement from this. All the dog lovers now love you even more. The non-dog lovers are like, whatever, I don't know, and they just move on anyway. And they're like, oh my gosh, Leanne's so cool. She's asking me for help. Good? Helpful? Last one. I love doing this. How many of you have seen, like, you do a $100 Starbucks gift card, you put it on your stories, and you're like, I want to gift it away. Instead of doing that, do it on email. Right? Subject line, free Starbucks. If you got an email with free Starbucks in the subject line, would you look at it? Sort of, right? So, hey, I loaded up $100 into a Starbucks gift card. Tell them exactly what it is. Hey, my friends, I hope you have a great summer. No, don't do any of that. Exactly like what Tim talked about, what Trace Serrano does, goes right into the content. Hey, I just loaded up $100 into a Starbucks gift card because what this does is it takes my subject line and marries it with the first sentence. Both of them, as Tim said, they dance, right? That's a good thing. I load up $100 into a Starbucks gift card. Here's the link to the barcode. I'm doing this every Saturday this month just as a thank you for being in my inner circle. Again, I'm labeling. You are in my inner circle. For working with me, for referring clients to me, and for supporting my real estate business. It's great. If you would like to have coffee together live, shoot me a quick reply. Right? I don't care if they reply. I just want them to click and share and say, that was so cool. You'll get a lot of responses saying, oh my gosh, I clicked and it was 0. It's already gone. And then your response is, dude, don't worry about that. Let's go to coffee live. That's how you get more coffee meetings. Right? You see how easy this is to do by creating endearment. Good. Do you think we might do something like this? Okay. So, but let's talk about this bi-monthly newsletter and I'll turn it over. So, how many of you, do not lie to me, please. I love you all. How many of you send a newsletter every other week? Used to. Jonathan Fisher, you don't. You just do video, bro. You're so good at this stuff. So here's the issue with my bi-monthly newsletter, right? What used to work 3-4 years ago where it was beautifully laid out, where it had a bunch of pictures, it had your photo up top, it had the #1 agent in this marketplace, click on this video, it's too much, right? And the way you see if it's working or not is to just run into the framework. Does it activate people? No. You know why? Because it's got too much going on and it doesn't activate anybody. Does it create curiosity? There's too much going on to create curiosity. Does it create engagement? Maybe you may get a bunch of clicks. Does it create endearment? Not really, because it feels like marketing, right? Anytime you want to think about it, think about what Justin and I talked about, which is, I'm going to a concert. Dude, do you want to go? May 25th, 26th, Hollywood Bowl, here's the link. Right? That's how emails should be. The real estate business sometimes gets really lonely. Sometimes gets really difficult. Sometimes gets really stressful. Sometimes gets really overwhelming. And I think us being together is what's going to get us through the tough times. Us being together, knowing that there's other people in the community is what's going to get us there. So I applaud you for being here. I'm so grateful I was able to share. Thank you so much for having me.